Hi and welcome to Nollywood Film Club. I am Mr. C of Iroko Critic and I am very tired. I hope you're doing well. Yes, we have a wonderful conversation for you. This is a basically a brother podcast to our episode 37 on the podcast, Female Characters in Nollywood. This is male characters in Nollywood. We're just discussing some of our favorite male characters from uh, from Nollywood, both from old Nollywood and new Nollywood. We discuss some of the tropes, archetypes we've seen, and we stumbled onto something that I'll let you pick on. And hey, if you have any disagreements, please don't feel free to leave in the comment section of whatever if your podcast player allows for commenting, please do comment, or else you can always reach us on Twitter or X. Yeah, it was a very good conversation. I enjoyed it. Explored a lot of things. Please do rate us if you can. And I hope you enjoy Nollywood Film Club discussing male characters in Nollywood. Welcome to Nollywood Film Club. We do discuss Nollywood films and sometimes Nollywood conversations. Today, finally, we are going to be having a Nollywood conversation. I can't wait to get into this. We are going to be discussing male characters in Nollywood. I'm going to emphasize characters, not actors, because because I've been seeing some tweets. But no, hopefully we can get into some of our favorite male characters, some of our least favorite male characters. We'll just talk about some of the stereotypes, the archetypes. Sorry, male characters we've had in Nollywood. But it should be a lot of fun. We'll discuss the evolution of some of those archetypes, how they fed over from old Nollywood to Nollywood. Some have been dropped, some have evolved. Can't wait to discuss it. Okay, we can start with some of our favorite male characters from Nollywood. Anka, is there one that pops to your head? I have a few. I have three. Two may be obvious, but we'll see. Anka, yeah. Do you have a favorite male character from Nollywood?
Am I the first? Okay, I guess I'm the first speaker. Favorite? I wouldn't necessarily say I have a favorite, but I have memorable ones. So the first guy, the first character. I don't know if anybody's seen Loverboy, but most of them are going to be from like old movies, where Ramsey Noah kidnaps his ex on our wedding day, holds her, and like what's it called? At the end was like, let's drink acid together so that we can die and be together in love, you know? Thank God she was sick.
Is this your favorite?
I said memorable.
You said memorable.
Okay, memorable. All right, okay, all right.
I know you may think I'm insane, but I'm not.
All right. Okay,
Watching that
memorable.
movie as a little girl made me realize, like, sure, there are different forms of love and like there are obsession types of love and all that stuff. But there are some forms of love that you should not accept if you want to live, live a long life. So it taught me a very good lesson. And it was memorable. Another one. Oh, this one is classic. The Cinderella story from the early 2000s, the one that made me fall in love with Iniedo. I like the prince in that story, although the ending was a little bit like. Now that I'm a grown up adult, I'm just like, what do you mean change that? What are you talking about? It's still kind of slightly classes us. But it was a wonderful Cinderella. It did everything. Everything was willing to give up everything. It was a wonderful, charming prince. Okay.
It's funny, before I remember the name of that film, I just remember one of Vanessa's favorite films. I can't remember. I know the film you're talking about. It's Kenneth Okonkwo and
it's World Apart.
World Apart, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, Ejio Uro, Ramsey Noah, not Ramsey Noah, sorry. not Ramsey Noah. Desmond Elliot in Ejewuro. His part is a little bit little in it, but also he was like, oh, that's such a good man. That's such a good man. And I also remember the character that was a horrible man, but Ejewuro was nice too. You know, all this is from the past, honestly. Yeah, so those are some of my memorable characters, and most of them are memorable to me. So I remember. I remember the stories. I may not remember the names, but since we're just only talking about male, there's one role that that Liz Benson had that still remember the story. Just like it's like
okay,
but we're not talking about male.
We've had female
I know. This is a testosterone only space. It's okay. I'm a female. I also have testosterone. It's just lower, but so come down.
All right, thanks, Inka. Terrence, do you want to tell us some of your favorite male characters in Nollywood?
Yeah, okay. Quite a lot, but I'm going to mention four. So one is male character in Hollywood that, that particular guy can be a prince, can be a rich guy, can be maybe just an ordinary man that his parents are...
Hang on, wait. It seems like you're going into archetypes. We're not doing archetypes yet. We will do the archetypes. I'm talking about a particular character from a particular film.
A particular character from a particular film. Okay. Yeah, okay. The Prince in Nollywood movie that is like falls in love with the sport girl and he loves her just the way she is and want to pursue her. That's it. And so that was like Ramsey Noah, sometimes they make KK. Sometimes Nonso Diobu, and the rest. And secondly, the hard guy. The hard guy in Nollywood, old Nollywood movies like University.
You're talking about archetypes. Terrence, wait. Yeah. Let Mrs. C go first. Have a break. Absorb some of the characters we might be going through, and then I'll come back to you. Or after me. Do you have things off the top of your head, Mrs. C? Male characters. Wow, this is how we used to do it. Man,
I was just wondering how you were just like, oh, let Mrs. C go first.
Because
Mrs. C has
it's you before me, no?
I know, baby, I know. But the way you said it was like that may have a list.
You should have a list.
Anywho, let me just go. One character I would like to call upon right now is the character of Mr. Ade Tiger.
What? Okay, go on. Reasons
is because I can't think of that many people, but also sidekick, loyal, ride or die to a female boss. We don't have a lot of those.
You can't even get this.
Come. I got nothing.
All right, okay.
That's not true. I do. I just forgot them as you called my name.
All right, then just man. All right. Wow, these people are disappointed. Disappointing today. All right, we have Nollywood must change. Any favorite male characters and you have for us?
Shit. Sorry.
Okay, calm down. You've had your moment.
Wow.
I'm asking Nollywood must change now. Nollywood must change. What are your favorite male characters?
Oh, sorry. Can you give me 5 minutes? Can someone come before me, please?
Oh my God. All right. Okay. Mr. C, what are some of your favorite?
Just one. I remembered him and then forgot him, and then I remembered him again. He's the guy from what's this? Your Masquerade film? The Lost to Kuroshi. Yes, our lead in Lost to Kuroshi. Can't remember what it was, but it's just it's not like it's not a stereotypically male character or whatever that we have several versions of this guy. But I thought it was just one of the male characters.
This is what you stopped. This is what you put your hands up. You shouted. Wow. Oh, you don't remember the character's name.
That's why I've not known clearly.
Just sit down, be quiet, do your homework, and then we put your hands up later.
I got nothing.
All right. Okay, let me start. You guys have been terrible at this. Okay, let me start, just in case people not really sure what's going on. So some of my favorite characters, I have actually a few stemming from all the way from old Nollywood to maybe Nigerian cinema. From old Nollywood, I have Ahana. I think Ahana is such a. It's actually one of. I actually understand why people struggle with this, and it's something we're going to talk about later on. But Ahana was one of my favorite real characters that wasn't just. It was someone who had flaws. He wasn't just somebody who was just doing good things and all of that. He clearly went down the path of crime, but I love his journey. I love his heart, and it's just a shame that he lived in the country that he lived in. And I thought the movie did. This is from obviously the old Rattlesnake movie, obviously not the Stand and Say one. I thought he was brilliant. That character I really like. Another character I love, Mofair from Mofair. Oh my god, it feels again. I think there's something similar about the. They're not the same, but Mofair from Mofair is again another guy who lives in Nigeria, and Nigeria happens to him. But you see him struggle through it, and it has a positive ending, but it's as close to a positive ending as you can have anyway in Nigeria. But he really goes through a bit, and watching again somebody who has a good heart, but his heart is even better than. Well, I can't even say his heart is better than Hannah. Life happens to life. The life that happens to Hannah is quite grim. But I just love. I love that character, and that character will forever be a big special to me. And then the last one, last of the three, I think there are a couple more I could go for, but the last of three, I think a lot of people wouldn't have gotten or mentioned, is Jobe from Picture Perfect. I love the Jobe character. If anybody hasn't seen Picture Perfect, Beard Steven, this is why Beard Steven still is. I still have some faith that Beard Steven will produce something like this again. But imagine performing a character so well that people decide they want to stereotype you as this guy for as going forward. It's that kind of that's how well Nino performed that character, that he did it so well that Nollywood was like, hey, can you come and do Jobe for us in different forms? But I love the Jobe character. Again, another flawed character with a good heart who's going about his time, and then but this is me love scenario. Those are my three favorite male characters so far. Okay, that is the bar. All right, Vanessa, please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I wasn't going to speak because down with men and this space that Mr. C is doing, I thought about it. You should not come after me, it's play and play, no. Favorite characters. Mr. C stole two of mine. I had Mofe from Egi Mofe and I had Jobe from Picture Perfect. But I also have a new guy, Kasim. I have Kasim from Beyond the Veil. I'm a lover girl and I quite enjoy Kasim's portrayal of a man in love and his pursuit of the woman that he's interested in. And then Oyeko also stole one of mine because it's one of my favorite films. Kenneth Okonkwo as the prince in Worlds Apart. Um, I have somebody, but I can't remember the character's name, and I couldn't be bothered to do the research. But it's from Mago, and I think he was, I don't know if it was a professor or something to do with school. Maybe Elizabeth will help me with regards to this character, but I cannot remember his specific details about him. But I quite remember that he made an impression on me when I first watched Mago as a young person. And that's all I can do for today. Bye, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the conversations. Next time, we'll not let Mr. C choose this topic because as I just chose this topic, I put it on top of our head to talk about.
Yeah, like I didn't meet you. In fact, okay. No, there they go, Vanessa with the copy and saying, "Oh, they stole my own." Yeah. We show it's still your own. Okay. Anyway, Darth Ghoul, please, can you tell us some of your favorite characters?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Okay. I'll start with the recent films. In a Gang of Lagos, I can't remember his name, but the second father of our main protagonist, what's his name? I can't remember his name. He was killed early in the movie. I mean, that guy is like it made me start researching about the guy. Like I wanted to know if he has been in any other thing. You understand? Because I like the guy. There's something masculine about him, and he he's not fit to take action. And I can, as far as I can remember, I think at the beginning of the movie he was hesitant that he doesn't want to be involved with the whole thing, and he tried to like our main protagonist. I can't remember what's he called again. What's the guy called? I can't remember again. But that guy is number one. Then the second person is Basket Mountain Brotherhood. He didn't do much. He didn't do much, but I just like him. I just like the guy. I like the character he played. Then it's very hard for me to actually find male characters in Nollywood that I like. But there's one guy. He has been in my head before I started talking about this too. I think there are two of them now. Sent to be in Royal Palace. You know, he was the musician, lover boy, favorite prince, kind of, whatever. He's the one. Then now, as I'm talking about him, I'm also talking about his father, Lou Jacobs. That one too is one of my favorites, and I can't think of anybody else. I think that's it.
All right. No, thanks. Thanks, Darth Ghoul. If you on there, I think shout out Nino, and I think Nino was the guy who played the character you're talking about. And Basket Mal, I can't remember Basket Mal's character's name from Brotherhood, but yeah, someone I actually liked from the trailer. But yeah, thanks, Darth Ghoul. Nollywood Must Change. Do you want to give us your favorite characters?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think the moment I was added at the speaker, the volume of my the space decreased, and I was trying to hear most what everyone is saying. So my favorite male characters, I think I'll start with Saint Obi in a State of Insurgency, because growing up, I think that was the first movie I would like kind of say like if male lead that was kind of captivating for me. I was so much interested in that movie. I was really a kid then, but I think that was when I got to know Saint Obi, and since then I've kind of liked him. So Saint Obi in State of Insurgency, that was a great performance.
You mean emergency?
I mean State of Insurgency.
State of emergency.
Okay. Is it emergency?
Yeah,
it's emergency. State of emergency.
I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad we've all done the work. But yeah, is there anyone else?
Did anybody see Igodo?
Please, I'm not done talking. Someone
no. That's cool. Hang on. I was asking Nollywood Must Change if you'd finished. Okay, go on.
Okay. Ramsey Noah in The Pope Must Hear This. Yeah, I kind of remember that movie. And then the lead guy in Abeni, if anyone has seen Abeni, the one by Tunde Kilani, Abeni, the lead guy in Abeni, I think I kind of liked his performance. And actually, the supporting lead male too in that movie was great. Yeah, in Odulade, when Odulade came into the Yoruba movie industry, kind of, he gave solid performances in some movies. Especially that time he was playing armed robber kind of role, so he was giving great performances then. Yeah, I think that sometimes you just like this lead character. It was, the look, the performance, everything was beautiful. And then recently I would say Chimeze in Nimbe, if I pronounce it well, Chimeze in Nimbe, that was a great male performance. And Reminisce in King of Boys, yeah, a great supporting male character that you could say, oh, it's worth it, supporting Shola Shubuhali. And then Toby in Brotherhood, yeah, I kind of like that. Even though I didn't like him in Gang of Lagos, but I kind of like him in Brotherhood. It was not so bad performance, and it kind of like make me this guy is going to be a great actor. Yes, And the last two people will be Latif and then Temi Fosudo in the grill. The two performances were kind of great. They kind of complement, each other. No one was pulling the other one down, and they made the movie, a good one. So those are my main performances. I can remember that are okay for me.
Okay, thanks. No much change from old Nollywood to new Nollywood. Some people being represented. All right, Elizabeth, do you want to tell us some of your favorite male characters?
Yes. I like the character from Abeni that Nollywood Must Change mentioned. I thought that was the most unhinged male character ever written, and I find it so fascinating. It's supposed to be a romantic film, and he had a steady girlfriend that he ditched for his in quotes first love, and he could have just told his maybe fiance that sorry, I found the person that I've been looking for all my life, but he just kept on gaslighting that babe, and not in a way that it was annoying, right? Like somehow a part of you like, yeah, maybe you're right, and then another part like maybe don't do it. But it's a character written so well that you're not cussing at the character. I find it very interesting when characters are written to be more than one dimensional. Old Nollywood, I think I would say that all the male characters in, at least the main characters in Silent Night, I liked it because I think, well, watching it growing up, it was my first like intro to very complicated characters. In there, the main lead was Ramsey Noah, who from the first scene of Silent Night, okay, no, maybe like some other scene, went and joined gang. His dad was very rich. I think it was Alex Yusuf Romiago. Yeah, his dad was very, like, I think he was a magistrate. He was supposed to be on the straight and narrow. He had like a perfect elder brother, but it was just this kid who wanted to try things. It wasn't perfect. In fact, it was actually horrible. And then he mistakenly, in quotes, killed his elder brother, and then his life went to shit. I find it interesting how this not so perfect character, I mean, in the end, it met its comeuppance, but it was very sad because their dad also was another archetype that I really liked because he had to make the tough decision of, maybe sentencing his child. I mean, probably is not realistic, but sentencing his child to like death. And then his brother, who was also like a good, let's say, role model for like how people should be straight and narrow. And then my favorite character from the film, Black Arrow, which got Shagna Arinze is Monica Black Arrow for a very long time. Black Arrow was that character. And then when he asked, was he him or Emeka Ike? I really didn't like Emeka Ike, but I liked him so much in the Silent Night. They asked, I think it was in the beginning of the scene, they asked the person they came to rob to read a passage in the Bible, and when he said you should read Ecclesiastes, and he said a time to live and a time to die, and then they shot the man. I found it so. It's some of these. I don't want to use the word elevated right because it seems so mundane, but you don't see this sort of daring writing again. Like it's almost as though they have, writers now just pick a character and just go stereotypical on it, and they don't have like unique characters to them. Like they don't feel real, living and breathing. So the entire male cast, including Emeka Ike, I didn't like. In Silent Night, those are like my favorite male characters. And then two other characters I would like to juxtapose because they play something similar, but the motivation was different. Was Hannah in the old Rattlesnake and Olabi in Old Blue. Similar trajectory of story, but different motivations. Both of them ended up being thieves due to different, like similar, their dad died and stuff like that. And funny enough, it was two films released at the same time. But I realized that why Olabi's character was the sort that he wanted to steal, but then he was trying to go on he wasn't trying to go, he was trying to go on the straight and narrow, right? He separated his life from this other life. He was living like dual life, similar to Ahana. But Ahana was not a good person. Like you cannot say Ahana was a good person. It was not a good person to the person he said he was going to marry. He had some other shitty behavior. but which still makes him human. But then Olabi's character had this. He was this good guy. He would rather not steal. Was trying to change. Was trying to do it. Blah 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 blah. But I find these two characters juxtaposed, similar characters, but different motivations. So I like that. And then I like all the lover boys. Ramsinoa, RMD. That's it for me. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Otas, you want to tell us some of your favorite male characters in Nollywood?
Yo, you can't stand up.
No, yeah, but Onika's already spoken.
Oh, okay. So, the one I really wanted to say, Nollywood was you said earlier, but it was the guy who played next to Latif in the Griot. I thought he was very fun. And Knocking on Heaven's Door, actually. Blossom, I thought was great in Knocking on Heaven's Door. That was kind of the reason why I got into him at that time. And like last person, I don't know. I think Blossom. Anybody else I say after this is more so a joke, but we already know that Kulin Remy is the love of my life. Sorry to his wife. But Kulin Remy specifically, of course, in Meet the Kujus again, because stellar performance. Great notes. No, I have to say.
Wow. Okay. All right. Jeez. All right. Olana, have you been on here? Have I asked you, Olana? I apologize if I have not. Wait, can people hear her speak? I can't hear her. Can anybody else hear Olana? Can people hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can't hear Olana.
Okay. Olana, we can't hear you. All right. Ayomide, do you want to tell us some of your favorite male characters in Nollywood?
Wait, I joined with the wrong account. Not yet. I just I'm literally not yet. Just give me a few minutes. I'll be ready. Well, can
Okay, wait.
I think I'm going to go out and join with my Wintrant account.
Okay, wait. All right. All right. Okay. So maybe some characters have entered. Some people said, Mrs. C, did any character enter your head whilst you were sitting in Naughty Corner?
Yes, you put me in Naughty Corner. Anywho, characters I was thinking about. Centovi's character from Final Whistle, one of our original lover boys. Then modern Nollywood, Buchi's character from The One for Sarah. I know I will still fight One for Sarah for giving me false advertising and giving me false expectations. But it was nice to see a friendship between a man and a woman in Nollywood that was just friendship. I thought they had good chemistry and they just felt comfortable, but as friends. And it was nice to see that character, that chill male friend character. Special drags to the guy in Kambili because he was a gaslighting bastard. Then I think was it Chimezie Imo that played this character in Kasala, the one that was being abused. Because they had the group of boys and there was that one that was being abused. And yeah, I liked that character as well because I just thought it was good. I mean, because every time someone comes up, right, the men are going, "Oh, what about us? What about us? Look, they've put someone in there for you, right? They put some representation in there." And it's just this young boy and just him trying to, act chill around his friends, but he's still carrying this really heavy thing. And I thought that was a good character to have in there as well. So yeah, there you go.
All right, thank you, Mrs. C. All right. So almost sort of back to the beginning. Did a new person pop into your head?
I feel like you don't like me to speak, but okay, I will speak anyway.
I had to go around. Like other people.
No. That's not it. That's not the reason. No. You seem resistant to actually now when it's not my turn to speak for me to speak.
Everybody else speak first before.
I'm
come
not
back to
upset
you.
with everybody speaking. It's just a resistance to let me speak. That's
Yeah,
something.
well, that one's just inbuilt, natural. I can't
I
do anything
knew it.
about it.
That's what you are saying. Oh, he's saying it's not everybody speaking. I
I'm
knew
sorry.
it. Okay. First, okay. I said memorable characters, so you guys don't think I'm an evil person. Olu Jacobs in this movie where he was like he he started abusing his stepdaughter in Edo. It was good to step to in Edo, but then his friend was like, "Oh, look at this sexy girl," and then he started having like that thing. It
I
popped
do
in.
memorable again.
Yes, I'm still doing memorable
But
because some of them are
then,
evil. Some of them are evil. I don't want
yeah,
people to think I'm evil. Excuse me. Let me finish.
no. Because I am hosting this, and I have to put it in a direction. I think
Okay.
favorite,
Favorite. I
favorite.
don't know. Memorable and favorite. It can be
We
same. It can
like
be
it now.
same.
If you like it with your chest.
I
Like
am liking it with my chest by telling you
okay,
guys, okay?
okay, all right. So yeah,
Tomato,
okay,
tomato. Okay, let me speak. Let me finish. Oleku. This guy is a cheat, but I like the main character of Oleku just for the scene where he's just saying Yoruba poetry straight to the camera, and you're like, what? But he's cheating with like two women, so it's okay. Um, I like Ramsey Noah's character in Art of a Fighter, a cruel prince who grows to be a better and loving prince. You know, it changed. Art of a Fighter, very good. There's this movie I recently watched, Bashon Ruga, and I like the older actor who plays Bashon Ruga in that movie. He is cruel, but he's cruel with like smile, you know. Saint Obi in The Ada They Fall, where Saint Obi was rich and like he had a bunch of girlfriends and his girlfriends give him gifts, but this one girl didn't give him gifts. But it's until when he doesn't he loses money that that the girl now started taking care of him, the one that didn't give him gift, because he didn't need it before, but now he needed it. So he learns his lesson. Letters to a Stranger, both male characters, but Yemi Black kind of carries it for me a little bit, but I also kind of, both of them are cool. Mommy Dearest, Yomi Fashola in Mommy Dearest. It is an epic and emotional ride, and I think Yomi Fashola plays amazing in it. Mofe in I am. What is? It's the movie. It's the recent one that we watched. What's it called? Hey. Mofe, yes, Mofe in Mofe. The movie The Prostitute with Omotola and Shegun Arize. Shegun Arize is a thief, but he loves Omotola and he gives his life up for, well, mostly because of the stealing. It came back to him, but he kind of pushes Omotola away from him so that he can die and be the only one that take everything. Um, I like Joba too, and The Griot. Yes, I like both characters. I think both characters in The Griot, you can see their motivations in both male characters in it, and I was like, okay, that's really well played of the motivation of it. There's so many, but here we go. The Wrong Side of Excuse me, The Wrong Side of Love. I like the guy character, and the detective in October 1. So that's where I'm just going to stop.
okay. All right. I think we're getting the hang of it. But given this is the second round, can we refrain from going over others that have already been said, just so that it can move quicker? Because we have our least favorite to go through, and then we have the tropes that I'm really and the archetypes that I really want to discuss. All right, Wayne. Wayne hasn't mentioned some of his favorite male characters. You want to go on?
Thank you so much. First, I was so shocked when you said call my name. I was like, where did you? Anyways, not knowing like Ayomide. Okay, so where was I? I like I don't know this. I'm trying to remember the title of the film. This film, oh my God, Sergio Babyface was in it. This is like the first with RMG. He stole from somebody's grave. Can we remember the film, please? Oh my God. Anyways, Diamond Ring. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Olana. I owe you $200. Anyways, so yes, I really loved RMG in Diamond Ring. I and I really loved Teju Babyface in Diamond Ring or Teju Oyelaki. I like Gideon from Tinsu. Like, I remember the first time I saw. I mean, nobody finished Tinsu, hopefully, but like I remember like when I was watching Tinsu, like the first 40 seasons, Gideon was a really, really good male performer. And then I was also going to talk about Blossom. Yes, Blossom from the Trade. I think Blossom in the Trade was a very. I mean, I felt his accent was weird, but I really, really liked his performance. What else? I want to say Osofia. I don't know if anybody mentioned him, but I think like it's probably for me one of the most iconic performances. Like Osofia in the Osofia films, not any other thing. Like Nkemo as Osofia, he was really iconic. So iconic that people don't even know his name. It's like it's Osofia. So yeah, thank you.
No, thanks, Wayne. Thanks for going into some of the iconic roles. I'm surprised, like even after the mention of Joby and there are very much a lot of people who they're known by their character name. Surprised none of them have been mentioned, but alas, Olana, I heard you speak recently. Are you now with us?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, it has been a very long day.
All right, tell us some of your favorite male characters.
Okay, so first of all, Kalu Kagwa as Masters on Tinsel. Like, he was so iconic for me because, like, from the feat to the menacing behavior, I think that was one of the earliest I had seen a proper villain. Like, he was a villain. I like villains that I want to succeed. I like watching villains that you want to succeed, and Masters gave me that vibe, that whole, okay, I know he's a bad guy, but he should actually like get away with some of these things, yeah. So I liked Masters. I liked this guy Muna on AM Aniedo. I think that's Martin's Uzochukwu. I really enjoyed Muna's character. I said some weeks back that he gave me sort of a like sort of an Okonkwo when things fall apart behavior, because you know that he was working towards trying to shed whatever ill reputation his father had, but in the process he became arrogant and more or less was falling back into his father's destiny. So I enjoyed that character and how much you wanted him to succeed once again, but he would do a lot of things and you just like, is this guy stupid? So yeah, I enjoyed watching Mona. And who is the third character? God, I have so many. And this guy, I don't know the name of the character, but Ramsey Noah in Staff of Odo. I really enjoyed that movie. I don't even know how to explain that movie. That movie has like a chokehold on me, but I really enjoyed Ramsey Noah in Staff of Odo. There was this nobility. Yes, he played a prince kind of, but there was this regal status he had in it that I really just enjoyed watching. It was like watching Bridgerton, but like the Nigerian version. But yeah, I really enjoyed. Those are my three. Yeah, more sure, but those are the three that come to mind for now.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Alana. I'm so glad for some villains to be mentioned. I'm surprised nobody has mentioned Uzarukwe's character from A Tribe Called Judah. I thought he was fabulous, fantastic, funny, hilarious. And another villain, I'm surprised Mrs. C didn't even mention, St. James from Fourth Republic. I thought.
Oh my God! Yes, I forgot about him.
Yeah, another character that absolutely destroyed Bimbo Manuel eating up that role, and just menacing and dark character. But yes, we've had some decent villains
coming from Insanity. The leading coming from Insanity.
What's that lead?
Gabriel Afolayan's character now coming from Insanity.
Okay.
I don't remember anybody's name, but he was absolutely unhinged. Loved the determination and unhinged king.
Okay. All right. Terrence, do you want to tell us any other names that pop to mind? Please be quick because we have to go into the next segment. Just Terrence.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got it this time around. Promise. So I mean, first character, like one of my favorite characters from Nollywood is Bolaji in Oga Bolaji. That's Kayode Kasum's first film, I think. It was so different, to be frank. Like I've never really seen like a character like that before in Nollywood that they give precedence to. So I really loved Mr. Go's performance in it, and it was such a breath of fresh air. Another character I also loved in Nollywood, it's this character from this web series, Little Black Book. It was I can't remember his name, but it was played by Ikechukwu. Little Black Book, the main character, like he is so layered, well layered. Like is a bad person, but also good in a way, and he's so swerve and very what's the word now? He's romantic, and you can see like he's yeah. Let me leave it at that. That's one character. Also, another character I really loved in Hollywood is in from the Johnson deputy in the Johnson. Like I don't know, like anytime it comes on screen, I'm like, yes, deputy is in this scene. It's in this episode, so it's gonna be epic. So deputy also in from the Johnson. And there's Blossom to Blossom Chukwujeku from The Visit, like his character in The Visit. It was also very amazing. And also his character in The Trade too. And then there's Ifa Iwara as well, from This Lady Called Life. The character he played is in This Lady Called Life. Yeah.
Okay, Terrence giving a shout out to Leo from the Black Book. That was season 1. I am with you, yeah. But when he gets to season 2 and he becomes a twin, that was something. That's the best way to put that. Okay, Nollywood must change. Please, want to be quick.
I think you guys are forgetting one person, and that's Timini from The Elevator Baby. I think that's a character that I would think was let me say, he was great in the performance and kind of made me realize that this guy is good. Timini is good, oh please. I know you guys hate him, but he's a good actor. And then Elevator Baby was one great character. That's I would just say this thing. The way they say it, kind of, but I think Elevator Baby was that thing that put him out and made everyone to take him seriously. So Elevator Baby, it's one main character we should not throw away.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that his arc was pretty good, and I think if you cast Timony well, I think he can do it. So he was playing a sports boy in that one, and I think you're right. It rolled well. All right, Atas, do you want to give us?
Yeah, my quick third person was Uzo Arukwe in Bank Alert. Actually, I was gonna say both the Tribe Called Judah and Bank Alert, but those characters to me are similar enough. But he does it well. I think in both, one is a little funnier, and the other one he's a little more menacing. But I think I enjoyed him more in Bank Alert. And also to Timony's glory, I like Timony in A Tribe Called Judah. His character was fun.
Okay, and Wayne, do you want to give us your one, and then I'm going to read the comments. People in the comments what their favorite characters are.
Okay, last two. Femi Branch on. I don't know if this was available to air for everyone, but there was this old TV series, Domino, on. I used to watch it on TV. Femi Branch was so fantastic in that film. I remember hating Femi Branch for about 6 years because he was just so good as a villain that I hated him in real life. And then I don't know if I'm remembering correctly or if it's just nostalgia bias, but I remember Ramsey Noah in Dangerous Twins, and it's like a core memory of. I remember like seeing that was like one of the first times I saw someone play two different people, and I believed it. I was like, so yeah, those are like the two I just remembered.
Okay, all right. Some people's favorite that they've put. Not even much change says Blosom's character from The Trade. Nolly Goodfellas says Fal's character in Brotherhood. Blosom's character in The Trade. Femi Jacobs in It Blooms in June. Nkemawa in
and Elon Musk in NFC. Nice. That girl says, I forgot if I were in King of Boys, Sam Dede in Ijele. He says, Teju Babyface character in Diamond Ring, JT Tom West in State of Emergency, Kola Oyewas in Saworinde. Sam Dade's character in Isakaba and Igoda. I thought somebody wasn't going to mention Sam Dade from Isakaba. All right. That call also adds in Kemowo from Onye Amoma. Wolf of Upper Highway kisses Sam Dade in Isakaba, in Kemowo in Osofia in London, Ramsey in the figurine. Interesting. Okay, Charles to be. Oh God. Anyway, in Ojukokoro, Wale Ojo in Phone Swap You. Mr. Gold from Confusion Now, also you. Chris Sato in Sylvia, Chidima Keme in 76, Blossom in the trade. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So those are some of our faves. What are some of the ones that we think are pretty bad?
I'm gonna go first. So this guy, I had to go back and find the name of this film because this is one of those films I stumbled on YouTube, but it was very familiar and a very big part of my Nollywood childhood. Apparently, it's called Orange Groove, and Desmond Elliot's character is chasing Rita Dominic's character, and he chases her everywhere.
Flashback I just had is crazy.
Oh my God, he's harassing this young woman, slut shaming her on a day-to-day basis, stalking the living daylights out of her, and somehow breaks her down into dating him. And she's telling him no one has ever loved her like this because now she starts dressing decent and she has stopped smoking. I will hate this character till the day I die. But also, this was not the only film with this character. There were so many films with some version of this character, but I hate that character. I hate him, and I want that character dead. Another character that I don't like, this is this what's the stupid guy's name? I can't remember the name of the character, but the guy from Camberley, the best friend from Camberley. Him and Camberley deserve each other, but I really didn't like that character. He sucked. He sucked as a friend. He sucked as a boyfriend. Probably sucked at work too. Who knows? Just an all-round shit character. When I remember more, I shall be back.
Okay, all right. People who, if you do want to, this is a sort of a bomb by which person's hand I see. There's no queue anymore. So if you have a least favorite, please put your hand up and take it from there. Some of am I on a delay? If you do, or do people not have least favorite characters? Should I go?
Hands are up.
Oh, I can't see anybody's hands. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, Elon is doing his thing. Okay. So just unmute your mic and speak. That's better. And whoever does it, go on.
I know it might sound too soon, but I cannot stand either characters from Afamefuna. Like, if you leave me alone with Afamefuna and Paul, it's going to go down. I've never seen characters so badly written. And I get the idea of doing characterization for Afam. Want to show the world that, oh, this guy's such a good guy. Oh, he's just going to be a good guy. And then this character went from good guy to stupid to downright irritating to when it comes up on my screen, I want to off myself. And then Paul's character went from interesting when the younger Paul had this interesting side to it. It felt like they were setting this guy up to be multidimensional, just not one. And then this character, understandably, got hurt, and then became, I don't know, like the switch. I did not understand. I'm like, these are not good characters, and I don't mean it morally. I mean it in characterization. Like, if I want to hate you, I think you should make a character. Like, if you want to make a character, me hate a character, I should know that that's the intention. This character is supposed to be hated. But when you're setting up a character, because it went from setting Paul's character to be this interesting guy to be downright annoying, and then putting things like, oh, I need money to go and party. Oh God, I'm like, nah, this is the worst characters. I don't care. I'm sure there are worse characters out there, but these are the most recent characters I can remember that made me want to come out my own eyes. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Elizabeth. That's actually crazy because this was the only reason why I did not start first, because I was like, I have a feeling somebody's going to say one of them. But thanks for taking that one off of my list. Now all the hatred can be directed to you. All right, who is next? Who wants to go next? I can't see hands, please.
Oh, okay. What's that?
So, Chris Atto from Flower Girl. Um, he was a terrible boyfriend. And not like she was great either. To be fair, they did deserve each other, but I hated him. Timini in Hey You. And to be fair to Timini, I hated all the men in Hey You. So it's not just him. He just has the misfortune of being the lead. But he was a terrible character in that movie. Not well rounded. So just a stereotypical uh, geek thing going on for him, which I will talk about when we get to tropes. But worst of all, really just shitty. Um, both judgmental and non-judgmental. I don't know. F.I. Warren and Niger Christmas, again, that's a geek thing to FR's in FR's defense. It's just how geeks are written in Nollywood that I really hate. And then finally Morris Sam for being the worst hitman in existence. That's it.
Him as
Are you
Blade.
going to make a
Yeah,
comment?
yeah,
That's him as Blade.
yeah. Morrisama's Blade. That was
Actually, the worst hitman in
that's a
existence.
fun character. All right, yeah. Thanks, no, thanks, Atas. A lot of I see you have not missed an opportunity to hate on Hey You.
Till she
Great.
dies.
Great. All right. Income, do you want to go? It seems like you want to speak.
Yeah. I have a few. I don't generally dislike characters or like they're my favorite or something like that. That's why I use the word memorable. But I have to say, what's the boss movie where they were going from one part, they were going to the east?
Sule, I think.
Sole. That movie, as much as I found it hilarious that the man brought out a bow and arrow from like 1000 BC. He didn't even try 16th century bow and arrow, 1000 BC. As much as I find it funny, it is a very, very disrespectful writing. It's just it's a character that comes straight out of, it feels like it comes out of the Art of Darkness. And not I'm not I mean the Art of Darkness was good for its time and something, but it was also racist. But it did help known about the Congo, about like what that guy did in Congo, the guy that was in charge of the king, Leopold something in Congo. But it just came straight out of that, and I think that was horrible for a Nigerian movie to be doing that. Like, why are you buying this? That character is horrible. Even though the actor performed it very well, and I liked the actor, and the actor is charming, and the actor's charm and the actor's way saved that character. But like, that's a horrible writing, and that's horrible. That's just bad. Um, then what's the name with the glamorous girls? Glamorous girls. Every man plus every woman in that movie was just bad writing. So they are all getting it. And because we are talking about men, they get it.
Glamour Girls Part 2, please. The new one. Let's not.
Oh yeah. Thank you. That's what I mean. Not the original one, not the OG. Glamorous Girls, the sequel, whatever the hell it is. Whether they said it was a remake, they said it was a sequel. That one on Netflix They are all getting it, but we're saying men. So all the men, horrible, horrible. It is an insult. So it is more insulting than the racist one. Sorry. Oh snap! I just forgot the other character. I'm so sorry. My brain wasn't working. I apologize.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks, Ayinka. Blanket hates for glamour girls, men. Is there who else has?
Excuse me. No. All of them. It's all of them, not just the men. It's just that we're talking about men this time. So it's I am in equal.
Yes, that's why. That's okay. Okay, all right. But
Dayami. I forgot Dayami.
in what?
I was, and the reason why I didn't say
Dear me,
it
generally.
earlier is because
You can't
I have a long list of movies with him in it that I hate, and so I was trying to figure out which one to narrow it down to. But Dayami is basically anything where he's playing a slightly abusive man who yells a lot, which
I
is
think
such
Dina
a wide catalog.
might be the worst, close to the worst.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ew.
Yeah, the ugliest
Anything in
version.
that line where he's like supposed to be charming and he's doing weird things with his lips, like, oh my god, I'm such a cute cool
He's
guy.
making those eyes
But
that
then
look
he's
like
also slightly abusive.
yeah.
That's whichever movie that is. There's like 10 of them I can think of right now, but those ones.
Okay, all right. No, Demi as that guy from Dinner, where he was sexy and abused. Well, yeah, that was not the best look. Is there anything else that come to people's mind? I have one. Wayne, go on. Sorry, I can't see hands up, so like people are just going to have to speak.
I'm a very respectful person, so that's why I didn't want to talk over you. I'm really angry that Otas said Simini from Hey You, because that was the first name on my list. Dami Baggio in everybody in that film is like really bad, but specifically Dami Baggio in all of the Chief Daddies. The same way she said DME, funny enough, it's like AY. Like I don't think I've seen him in a film and that it doesn't want to make me physically puke. So who else did I write? Oh yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, the Akbos character from all AY's movies can just go. I very tired, very very unfunny for me. I know some people probably like him, but for me, deeply unfunny, like spiritually unfunny, like deep inside the bone marrow. No fun, no fun to be found. Mrs. Caesar,
I forgot.
hang on, wait.
Okay.
Mrs. Just for Mrs. C. Mrs. C wanted to say
So,
something.
Anikulakbo, I'm sorry to all of you that love this man, but oh my god. Saro, yes, Saro in Anikulakbo, thank you. Saro is just one of the worst written characters as a whole, but yeah, just a really shitty written male character, because who is he and what are his motivations in this life and why is he making the choices he makes? What does he want out of life? I don't know. And now I know that there are men out there who are aimless and don't know what they want out of life. And I don't like them either. So, there's Saro. Toby's character in Gangs of Lagos, also hated that character because, again, they did nothing with him. They just, he's great. Why? Show me. No, nothing. Then the young pastor in Breath of Life, the guy that Chimezie Imo played, also, why? Literally in my notes, I just had this guy next to him, question mark, why? Why are you starting out as a pastor and you want to make a big church? Again, I don't understand him. I don't understand his faith. I don't understand his convictions. I don't understand why he's trying to marry Mommy Gio. Also, I think maybe my problem with these people are that they are written poorly. And then the guy that was Sunday in a Sunday affair. Again, why? Why are we fighting over this shitty man? Why? Shitty character, terrible spineless character, and they write him so badly in a way that does not even give me an inclination to root for him. But he's supposed to be sympathetic, and life is so hard because, oh my God, this woman I'm sleeping with now has cancer, and I I have to stay with her as a, why?
All right, thanks, Mrs. Alana, did you want to say something? I saw you unmute yourself.
Yes. I have a few characters I don't particularly like. The first one is like I watched this movie under peer pressure, but I've forgotten the name of this character, but this boy Clinton Joshua's character in Treasure in the Sky, that character annoyed me in ways that like I watched the movie and to a point I just started laughing at the character because it was such a corny character. Like, you're just a good guy. Are you kidding me? Like, why are you walking around being a therapist? Who even asked you? And at the point, I remember watching the movie at the point, I was like, the only thing that's going to make this movie better is maybe if this guy dies at some point, and thankfully he died. So I don't even know. That character just pissed me off. Then this Nigerian version of Beauty and the Beast. Very old movie, the one where Olu Jacobs and Nadia Buhari were the leads. That character, that Olu Jacobs, I don't know, I couldn't even find it in my heart to watch that movie completely because I just did not like the Beastly character. I didn't think he was given. I don't know why they created that movie, but God bless them. And then Deyemi's character in is it Dinner at My Place, the dinner movie, the misogynist character that was just misogynist for the sake of, and they really tried to give him a justification or something, but I just didn't like that character. I wasn't a likable character. So I think, those are my three that I can recall for now. But there have been many, many unlikable characters.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Alana. Demi coming up again. And even in the comments, I see you guys are not letting some Demi characters sleep. For me, let me see. I have a few lists. Okay, so Afamefuna has been taken off my list. One that might get a pass is Butija. So I think what encapsulates what I don't like about a bunch of characters is, I think a lot of us have spoken about like just not well written. But what pains me most characters who are so undeserved. They just go through the journey. They're not doing anything. Or like there's nothing about them that ends them. And then like the movie at the end is just willing you. Oh, don't you just love this person? And my natural reaction to somebody who hasn't done anything for me to like them, especially if you're insisting on for me to like them, is no. I strongly dislike you. I remember, I think it was Best African Actor that said it at the time about this about Butija. So that's Latif's character from Dragon, where like the guy is basically a cheat. He's basically a cheat. The reason why he changes, he sees the light at the end of everything is because his babe attacked him, and not because he actually did a genocide.
He did a genocide.
Not because he literally went to wipe out a village. That did not change his mind. It was when his babe came to attack him and has forced him. He's like, oh, maybe people they're sending us to do things that we shouldn't be doing. I thought that was very weak, and just that's what they wrote, and I hated that the movie still wanted me to root for him at the end. I strongly did not like that. All right, does anybody else have any other thing they want to speak about any of the characters before I read some of the from the content from the comment sections?
I do. What's the name of the? Oh, forgot. Oh, it's a good thing that I forgot the name of this movie, but the one by the stylist turned director, and it had a very good campaign, but the movie was rubbish. And the only one I actually tell people not to watch ever.
Yes. I know this film,
Yes.
and Foreigner's God.
Yes. That's the name. Foreigner's God. I can't believe this person. Look, I do believe racists are human beings too. But this is a freaking character. This is a fictional character. Fuck them. But I have to now come to the láti gbé ìjà, like what is it? Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe máa sọ ní- I have to come to the support of this. The racists in this movie were horrible. 2, every single character was racist. Not only were they racist characters, even the racist character was horribly played. Like, why are you yelling like that? The guy is a horrible actor. Okay. And even the white man, you went to go fly this white man all the way from wherever the hell in the white world he came from. And you gave him the most horrible character too. All of them is just bad. And I'm not even judging based on just my ideological opposition to this movie. Nah, I'm just judging based on just like it is bad acting, bad writing, bad everything. But even the costuming, apparently this guy is actually is knowledgeable at. The costuming is bad. Bad. Just bad. Yeah. It needed to be mentioned. How can you be costuming somebody in the 1940s like they were living in like the 1600s? What kind of not? You know what? Never mind.
All right. Okay. Yeah, let's not get into started on Foreigner's God, but yeah, no. The white savior character from Foreigner's God is actually. It felt like they went to the to like, I don't know whether a dictionary exists for this, but the dictionary for white savior was like this. I was like, all right, let's pick up all the worst tropes from this white savior and put it in this character. Make sure not to miss anything. And have everybody refer to him exactly as a white savior would. Yeah, that was very, very poor. That's one of the worst films we've seen. All right, okay. So Mui says Femi Fernandez from Shantytown. Let's not do that again, please. Terrence, how do you just cross out Effa from the Niger Christmas off my list? Any role that AY plays sucks from Ali. Terrence also says William Chamber in every new Nollywood movie. I actually like him in Sugar Rush, but apparently I'm in the minority. And Frank from Far From Home. That's odd. I think some people like that character. I don't particularly think of many people from Far From Home as characters, to be honest. Interestingly. Okay. All right. So those are favorite and least faves. A lot there to think about. Now let's talk about the tropes. The way tropes, stereotypes, archetypes. Those are slightly different things, not tropes. Archetypes really is what I want to discuss. Archetypes in Nollywood. All right. So before we go into, I think we'll talk about evolution in a bit, but just want anybody to give any of their Nollywood archetypes. I know some people have already talked about Lover Boys, and this is why I was telling some people to hold on. Some people have already given a shout out to some of the Lover Boys of the old Nollywood era, but they're famous. Some archetypes to go through: Lover Boys, Bad Boys, the warriors / action man, native doctors, funny gate man, the aloof / mischievous comic relief, the nerds. Do we have nerds? I guess in New Nollywood, but the nerd is usually attached to Lover Boy. But yeah, any archetype you like or you want to give a shout out to, or you have memory of, or you have a particular thing to say about it, please go ahead. Again,
so I have a
Just
love
I first, correct? Sorry.
I was gonna say I have a love-hate relationship with the Lover Boy. I'm a lover girl. I love. However, I feel like we've had a techie touchy relationship with the Lover Boy. The ones that, I'm gonna leave my whole family for you and them the world and leave everything and we're gonna be together and I love you. But there was this thing we used to do in older Nollywood where I don't know if this was potentially the case in older Hollywood as well. I can't remember. I don't think so, maybe. But where they would chase and chase and chase. And I mentioned in that Desmond Elliot's character that I absolutely hated. And the chasing of the Lover Boy, Yeah, that was. I think that did a bad thing to the psyche of to the whole Nigerian dating sphere outside of film. But the sweet lover boys, the ones who are all in, or the ones that have been jazzed, like Tony Gomez, and he's all darling and super amazing. So I have a love-hate relationship with the lover boy trope. Sometimes I enjoy it, sometimes it's problematic.
Is that art imitating life or life imitating art?
I don't know. I don't know.
It might have been what was around in their surroundings. Okay, but I hear you.
I think it's film that made them think they would be successful, though.
Okay. Atas, were you saying something, or was that Inka? I don't know.
I was asking if you were doing tropes we love or tropes we hate, or if it was just like a mixed bag of any tropes.
Both for these.
Okay. So then married lover boys in old Nollywood. So lover boys in old Nollywood for me are a strong hate. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any lover boy tropes in new Nollywood that work. Again, maybe Bucci in the one for Sarah. But for the most part, the lover boys in old Nollywood, I hated it. Still do entirely. Mostly because they were always already cheating or should have been weird. But then at the end, after they bring this woman who they've been cheating with for years into their home and things go wrong, it was always like, oh yeah, sorry, they were jazzed. And so for me, I hate that trope mostly because there was never any accountability. It was always either, men will be men, and then some combination of, well, she jazzed him, he would have never left you, even though he was cheating with her and they had an affair. But she was just a side chick and she only became a wife because of jazz. Hated that thing with my whole life. And then there is the nerds in New Nollywood, which is where FIWR comes in, which is where part of the casting for Hey You comes in, as far as Timini's character. But there's so many other examples of them trying to put a nerd in there. And it's always just sort of like Urkel. It's like Urkel is the only time a Nollywood director watched a nerd and decided that that was how nerds had to act. Pushing the glasses back and forth, the sort of stuttering and stammering. Um, they're usually never even doing anything ambitious. They're just kind of dorks who only exist so that eventually they can become slightly cooler and get some backbone and then win the girl's heart, usually, which I guess is also lover boys. So I guess I just hate lover boys in Nollywood in general. And then number 3 is the gate man. Just the way, and it's not just gate men in general, it's just like the helps in Nollywood almost as a whole is sort of a demeaning. It's actually quite demeaning how the Nollywood treats sort of these characters. They're always not just illiterate, which is one thing. It's one thing to not know how to speak English, but just almost brainless. It's supposed to be funny, but in a way that's just not funny. But I'm sure I have a longer list, and the more I think about it, it'll go on. But yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ataz. It's funny. We used to watch a few old Nollywood gay men, and there was a time where the gay men actually felt a little just side comic relief, where they actually just generally had one or two funny lines and not too much this thing. Or sometimes they were actually the whole characters, like Sophia would go from the village to go and be a gate man, and it would be a full fleshed out person and just somebody who felt too big for the position, which was where a lot of comedy came from. But as time went on, it just felt like it became more and more of a caricature, and I hear you on the demeaning part. All right, but when that you don't like the lover boy trope, even from old Nollywood. But I guess Mrs. C has spoken on some of that love-hate part about it. All right. Okay, Wayne.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah, I thought we were, because I didn't know we were talking about what we liked or not. I thought you were asking for more tropes. And I wanted to say there is this like desperate young man. I can't really explain it, but like that desperate young man willing to do anything for money trope. I don't know if it has gone out of. I mean, we still have it, but yeah, like I was just going to add that to your list of all the things you're mentioning.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, like one of the things in my small research before this space was just we don't have a lot we don't have a lot of good deep characters to go for outside all these men trying to provide and protect their family or provide for their family. Other things are usually men are usually just used generally as a way to tell some other kind of stories. Like, you can get the weak man who is there, who is like allowing his mother to abuse his wife, or sometimes they're just there to do some domestic violence to show us that we shouldn't do that. A lot of times it's just used as it's just a they just feel more like a what's it called? It's not quite a plot point, but it's just useful so that the story they're not real characters. But I hear you on the young men who must make money despite anything. Oyinkan, do you want to
Yes. I know everybody has talked against the lover boy, but I'm going to come back for the lover boy. Now, the lover boy that I'm thinking about is not the lover boys that necessarily were married. Not those ones. I never really categorized them as kind of more lover boys because that's, I think, more. The lover boy, the golden age of lover boys were the lover boys that weren't necessarily married and they were fighting for their love. You know, that movie where, what's it called? Ramsey Noah was blind. No, not Ramsey, Genevieve was blind. And like Ramsey Noah sees her. And like Genevieve is from the village, Ramsey Noah has money. And the family being against it. Those type of. And I generally do like romance, but when I say romance, I'm not just saying, what's it called? Romantic comedy. Like I'm not, I like romantic comedy, but I think also slightly my taste might be more slightly for like romantic drama and like romantic tragedy. And for some reason I don't like Romeo and Juliet, but romantic tragedy. And some of the other boys have been in like there's some romantic tragedy. What's it called? What's that movie called? Behind Closed Doors, where he propositions when the brother propositions his brother's wife for something, and the brother can, and the wife agrees that yeah, sure, yeah, I don't have money, we need this money, and then the breakdown that comes out from that, all those type of like, I think those characters, they're not necessarily perfect characters, but I think if they serve for romantic drama stories and all that stuff. And I also like the older kind of what's it called? The older ritual movies where the characters who definitely do ritual. I think what's his name? Okonkwo, the guy that plays Okonkwo. The guy the movie I just talked about. Worlds Apart, the guy in Worlds Apart. There was this movie where he plays like a reluctant ritualist. Right? He's still a ritualist, but he plays a reluctant ritualist. Those kind of more movies that had emotional grab to it, or like those type of movies that they used to do back in the day. Like I even mentioned Yemi Fashola's movie in Mommy Dearest. There was like complication stories in characters. There were complication stories in it. The husband goes to jail. Yomi Fashola is like a Ghanaian who works as a gatekeeper. They have a child. The husband comes back. They have to do things. Years later, Yomi Fashola meets the guy as his son. All those things, those type of stories, we don't have it anymore in Nollywood. Whether it's female characters, you remember the female characters, you remember the male characters. You know, I those are the tropes I like. The tropes that I don't like nowadays is what's it called? The geek one, definitely. And the I just- and they trying to be American action heroes, something. And the new like Raz the ad guys in our new crime dramas. And like it's not I don't like them, it's just that it's now becoming too much. That's just for me. Not the married ones. The married ones, no. The ones that are like Cinderella stories, yes. The ones that have more, they are single, and yes, maybe they might be cheating on their girlfriend or something. Sure, you know.
All right. All right. Thanks, Inko. Yeah. So I guess like it might actually even be worth starting with. Do we have what are there any like sort of archetypes now for the men? The only one I can think about is like Toby is playing the new action hero. I think Femi Adebayo is playing all kinds of old Yoruba warriors or kings and all of that. Is there any archetypes we have other than
We have Instagram comedians, Instagram comedian.
Oh yeah, Instagram comedian.
Joe Bear and everything now.
Is he even?
I've not even seen him in a while.
Yeah, it feels like we've lost him. Like far from homes. Where he was like I think what we're starting to get in, we're into this when the dark crime aspect.
Yeah, but we still do have
Toby as a gangster or whatever.
We still have the shy nerdy lover though. That's what they've made it now. We've had Timony do it in Hey You. We've had him do it in Big Love, and we had Latif do it in The Griot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is that?
I actually had a question. It was more so for the movie or you can kind of referring to. The one with the blind girl. Are you thinking of Stella Damascus? Or is there a different one with Genevieve that I just somehow haven't seen? Because it was like Ramsey Noah, Stella Damascus was blind. It was like Tough Love or Real Love or something random like that with love in it.
Anchor you all right.
Yeah.
Did you hear Eltas's question?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear Otas's question. Sorry, I had to go through something away. Otas, can you repeat it?
Your movie, the first one you mentioned with Ramsey Noah, you said it was with Genevieve. Is there a separate movie with Genevieve, or are you thinking of Stella Damascus where she was blind?
No. There's a separate movie with where she was building like a bust of Ramsey.
Huh.
There was a particular time and period where they all did movies with each other, and it was very confusing to know. There was always Ramsey and Genevieve. There was also Ramsey and Stephanie Okereke. And usually Stella was mostly sometimes paired with RMD, and I think it's behind closed door where it was RMD.
Yeah, no. I think
Stella.
we've gotten off track from my question. But yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Not even much change. You wanted to say something.
I was talking about stereotypes. I think we were talking about stereotypes when you're talking about Femi Adebayo. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We're talking about archetypes. I'm talking about I was talking about
Warlord. I was talking about Toby playing like, is he a gangster or like one on that
action hero? Yeah, but I'm talking about I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the archetypes they play.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what else do we have?
The villains. The archetypes that I'm thinking now that's more, I think, is the sort of like the same kind of character that Modestus was in Bank Alert, where there is a villain and they're supposed to be like relatable.
Yeah, crime lord,
Yeah.
like
but like funny, relatable crime lord.
Yeah.
We've lost a lot because back then we actually had even the aloof sort of aloof mischievous protagonist that Osofia played a bunch and Ibu played a bunch. We don't have that anymore.
the Back from America, the IJGBs.
I've just come back from America, like the Jamaics, that come back with the American accent to do a bunch of things. And to be honest, like I do remember there was a time where, in fact, it was a very popular joke where AY would do it. I don't know where he probably stole it from, but like, hey, once you see this person in a movie, there were this person, or when you seen this person in a movie, there were that person, because like it became so routine that we knew almost sort of the kind of roles people were playing. It's just that even though it does seem like, even though we've lost the stereotyping of particular actors, we've also just lost those roles in general. We're not
lose the stereotyping. We're still stereotyping.
Are we still stereotyping?
Yeah,
oh, come on! Erica has played many characters. Just because he's played Igbo villain in three. It's like played like he's probably done like 70 movies. Three out of 70.
But I guess to me, it's stereotype. His archetype exists.
Yeah, true.
Is the sports brat,
playboy, sport brat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's not good.
There's an archetype I like to talk about that I'm very sad that I've not been seeing them. Even though we have only one person that I've played, like that's the bad boy crime guy archetype. We've had Kang Sanuku, Sentobi, JT Tom West. Like if you're going to rent film back then and you get to the film club and you see JT Tom West, you're not going to ask the genre. I get it that it's stereotypical, but it's funny how sometimes it feels like you're playing the same character over, but the stories are always different, motivation different, but you know what you're going for if you get to a film club and you see their face, right? So you have JT Tom West, Charles Okafor sometimes, which I really appreciate. Charles Okafor's character, it could be bad, it could be good, it could be anything in between. So we've sort of lost that old trope because we have like tons of movies about just bad guys being bad guys. They're on the bike, they're stealing stuff, they're in school, they're terrorizing people. We've lost that type. I mean, we have Toby play like 3 roles now: Brotherhood, Gangs of Lagos, and then the African Magic one that I've not seen. But so now if you see Toby in a film, you're like, oh, maybe action. I would like to see Toby play a lover boy. I don't know if he'll pull it off, but I mean, Anklanuku could even pull off lover boy, but I've really missed that particular archetype of. I mean, I don't see them often I don't see it often. I would have said maybe Stanze, but I can't. Or even Uzarukwe, it doesn't come off as archetype, comes off as stereotypical. It plays this Igbo rich man that loans people money. It's probably paid it like 1 million times already. I don't know if it's archetype at this point or more like stereotypical because it's just the only one playing it. So, to me, it comes off as stereotypical rather than an archetype.
Right. Yeah. We have think about one of my favorite archetypes that's now gone is just the ritualist. Those guys who, I mean, like, I know a lot of it was tied to some of the, a guy trying to provide for their family, but I actually liked those ones that they were in it. You meet them, they're already in it. They've been there for time. Some people really crush those roles as I'm thinking like the guy who played Ichie Million in Living in Bondage, just reveling in his evil. Like, I think at the time Andy meets him in the cult, I think he's giving away his daughter. He's like giving away his daughter to the cult for a bunch of money that he used to buy Pathfinder. Like there were just like some very. It's just those kind of things that really send chills. If you think of like people who just somebody like actually giving away their family member for money, it's crazy. It's like it does send a certain level of chills to your down your spine. We've lacked that sort of very dark, dark menacing characters that we got from Rich with this. But yeah, Wayne, what just want to say?
I wanted to say, so I'm thinking because you said, have we lost like archetypes, like people playing like the same stereotypical roles? And I don't think we have. I wanted to postulate that maybe we just don't have very strong performances anymore. Like, because I'm thinking about how like people were going so crazy over Black Book, and how like everybody what's this film with it's not a tribe, is this other film that they burnt his wife? Why is he that one AMVC is Breath of Life? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. Yes. So Breath of Life is like, I think we don't have that many like iconic roles. Like people don't as much. I don't want to seem like I'm attacking the whole Nollywood, but it's like people don't really eat up the roles so much that even when we get one or two really good guys, like oh my god, but then you would see like Jemite play that bad boy role, and you could see him play it in 400 films, but in every film he played it, it felt different. Like it felt believable and it felt genuine to that story. I think that's what Elizabeth was saying, where like it was as if it was a different story because it felt genuine, even though it was a stereotypical role. I'm postulating that maybe the reason why we feel like we don't have archetypes now is because we don't have as many good acting performances itself. Or maybe I'm just,
I don't think that's I agree with you. Like the acting performances now, and especially from the guys, are just not as strong as previous as before. But I'd still say, and I think this is what when we talk about new Nollywood not having an identity, I think if we look at a lot of the new roles that we have, what they lack is they all feel like various versions, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, by the way, but they do feel like various versions of like Western archetypes. Whether you want to talk about Scar or that just feels like it feels like a version of like a cheap Western villain. I'm not saying like he was in American accent or anything. I know like he tried his best to localize it. I just mean that particular guy, it feels a little foreign. There's something that feels a little distant. And I think that's why a lot of people just end up going back to, not us, obviously, we suffer every week, unfortunately, but a lot of people go back to watch old Nollywood movies and they go, oh, something is missing. And I think even in the stereotyping actors, where, an actor like when you said somebody's playing a role 400 times, where that can happen. But one of the reasons why people are playing the role 400 times is because it has deep resonation with the audience and they really enjoy this performance. So yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, so like we all agree here. Like we've lost the ritualist role. Like we don't really do that anymore. Even I think Blood Covenant is the last time. It's the most recent one.
Also
Blood
lost
Covenant.
Armed Robbers.
What?
Armed
Robbers.
Armed Robbers as well
Yeah,
is gone.
yeah.
Cultists.
We haven't even replaced them with like hackers or something.
Yeah, we
Cultists.
haven't.
Give us Yahoo boys. Replace, upgrade.
Brotherhood. We have one Sha in Brotherhood.
Am I wrong in saying that Brotherhood feels foreign? Like foreign, like a Western version instead of like
our Armed Robbers.
It doesn't feel like our Armed Robbers.
Like Hanks Anuku. That's where I had a confused with that, where he would have a gun that was plastic, and then he would rub a bus full of people with his crew. We've kind of lost those kind of more robberies that are more realistic for our climate.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know how our current armed robbers operate, to be honest.
Yeah, well, isn't this the thing? It's like, how much did we know and how much did we just trust that Nollywood was portraying them accurately?
I feel like a lot of us had been robbed.
Okay. Yeah. But like,
I personally do understand, like, of course, time has changed. And of course, we're still holding, we wear, what's it called? Nostalgic glasses of old Nollywood in some of these things. But there's also something where, like, it's, I don't know how to say it. Maybe the plotting, I just don't, they don't have the stories. Sometimes it feels like they try to be cool. There's nothing wrong with trying to be more Western. Like, of course, we have internet. Internet access is more better now than it was 20 years ago. Yes, sure, they'll be planning it. Sure, sometimes they'll use Google Maps. Google knows where everybody is nowadays. Hey, that's scary, but they do. Um, but like now they try, it seems, I don't know how to say this, but it seems like they're trying to make, to be cool like the Westerners. Like they saw a lot of Western movies. Not that they don't like Nollywood movies. They do. They saw a lot of Western movies. And a lot of the new directors that we do have, they saw a lot of the Western movies and they think the Western movies is a lot more better. And they think those people look cool and they want to be just as cool as they are. And so there's a lot of attention paid to the looking cool. The shots, the shot composition for some shots is just looking cool. Like even the nerd that we have just comes out of America's nerd. What is that? Like what?
I agree with you there 100% in terms of especially the nerd thing, because like it's not like we don't have our nerds. It's not like we, but I think we have a different cultural relation to nerds. Number one, we don't call them nerds, right? That's not how we see them. Yeah, maybe maybe our ages might be showing. Sure, I'm sure you call some of those Nigerians nerds, but people who knew book were just usually like, if you know book, that's a good thing. That's just a thing that people have. You would just usually go on to do great things.
You're probably popular in school.
Also,
not
like, yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
good
That's what I wanted to say. The nerd is popular in school because it's good in school.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
just
how
like,
you watch Asian stuff? To be the most popular, you're number one in class and you're also good looking, right? In For some reason, the nerd, oh, you read too much book. But this is Nigeria. They like when people read too much book. You know your ranking in class. Instead, we should be copying more Asian stuff than American stuff because it makes more sense to our culture.
I would even say that character, that Latif character from The Grill, was more realistic in depicting not a nerd, but somebody who is shy,
yeah,
right? Because he was shy in person, but when he's with his friends or his dad, he runs his mouth. So it's that. I feel like that's how to really write a good character. Maybe your character is shy. There are tons of characters like that, but not shy even at home, right? So they would create this nerd character who is just antisocial everywhere, and sometimes you're like, have I seen this character? Because at the heart of watching films is, looking out for relatable characters, right? That you can connect to. But then you have these characters that you've seen before in American movie, in the Western characters, not even British, because if the British are going to depict this kind of characters, it'd be so different from Hollywood sort of stereotypical characters. So we are basically just transposing characters and not localizing them, and so half of the time your audience cannot connect, and then after they shoot it in the cinema, after they show such films like a couple of times, they're like, yeah, Nigerians don't like this kind of films, and then they'll just thank the entire thing, whereas it has more to do with writing and maybe directing rather than maybe the entire story itself.
So I wanted to say something. I wanted to use Merry Men as a microcosm to explain something that we are all saying. So in Merry Men, when they want to steal something from the king, because like we don't have armed robbers anymore. And like I want to use this to explain. They want to steal something from the headquarters, and they're like, oh, we have this guy, he can hack into it. And it just doesn't make sense, right? Because it's Nigeria, like it just feels more natural that they're like, okay, we can rob this place when they take lights because okay, if they have security, it's like we are writing characters that makes sense, right? If you are in the US, and like we've said, only in the US, it's not even like in other places, right? So it's like we have almost every film you have now that they are stealing. They are not like armed robbers. They're like doing a heist, and they spend the whole film trying to do this heist, recruiting the tech guy, and the tech guy is not doing. It's Nigeria. If you're a tech guy, you're probably working in computer village. Like what is like? Do you get? But like, so they recruit the tech guy, and then they have like one guy that is the guy that comes up with all the plans. Then they have one. It's like it doesn't make sense. Before, what we used to have was, I remember when I was in secondary school, they robbed an ATM close to my school, and they were just like 8 guys that went with homemade bombs and guns, and just broke that thing and took the money and went. Like, but now they will have. So it's like, yeah, we've lost that in our storytelling.
That was
Even like
the
minus.
problem with A Tribe Called Judah, that robbery scene where they come in wearing masks. Like, this is not bank heist. We're not watching a bank heist movie. These guys are coming to rob an office in a mall. And they're like, oh, we hacked the cameras. And they're wearing their little flashy mask and their ridiculous guns and their stupid armor. And they look so out of place with the general theme of the movie as a whole. And unfortunately, that's the only kind of robbers, quote unquote, that we get now, because why didn't it just make sense to just cut the wire for the lights? Like things that make more sense, I guess, for the Nigerian context. But yeah, actually miss the robbers.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. So the closest we have to robberies, this A Tribe Called Judah and Brotherhood, right, where there are robberies. The problem is, I think I could see those robberies. I mean, obviously they're not super complicated or complex or well done, but like I can see versions of this in Hollywood. There's not, where, all right, so we go in with masks, we smash the CCTV cameras. Those all feel Hollywood. And that's the closest we've come to armed robbers recently, and that's a problem. I still think, I think I said it, the best quote unquote heist we've done is in King of Boys. It's basically a robbery. It's just a blackout. It's a robbery. The thing that is a little cute about it is how the politicians hid the money, and they hid them in like Sockaway and like that kind of. That's the closest to we've ever gotten to good Nigerian heist/armed robbery that felt okay. Yes, in our modern time, and I still appreciate and give credit to Kemi Adetiba for that. But outside of that, like, yeah, I'm just listening, watching, watered down versions of Hollywood things where if you have to hit the CCTV, just rip the paper off, my G. Just let's go again in Nollywood. We can do better than that. But yeah, no. So I guess like now it feels like we've stumbled upon a bit. And I know like Nollywood has always felt like it's been foreign or things, but for the mainstream to work, like the mainstream blockbuster movies, they need all these archetypes, right? I'm not saying they don't change over time, but I can't really even identify one that feels Nigerian or feels like our own. It doesn't feel like we've changed. It feels like we've just lost all our archetypes. Breath of Life is funny enough. Obviously we didn't used to do this. We used to do a pastor versus, like Holy Ghost Spirit versus the devil kind of thing. Those are gone, obviously, but and those were again some of the better films we've made, but now Breath of Life is the closest it's come. But like, it wouldn't even commit to the Christian thing, to the Christian aspect, even though, like, you know, there are bits and bobs of it shown here and there. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a little sad that it feels like we've lost a bunch of archetype roles, and we have not replaced them. All right, so if anybody doesn't have anything else to add, just in summary, like, is there anywhere we would like to see? Actually, before we go into where a particular direction we would like to see some of the male characters go, like what kind of male characters we would like to see. Can anybody tell me about what they call them? This show I had in my head. This show about boys that used to be on YouTube that that had Ayola
Men's Club.
Men's Club.
Yes,
Men's Club. Anybody that watched that show, you guys have thoughts on it? Because like, I don't. One of the reasons why I did not watch the Men's Club is it felt like I thought it would be it's a Nollywood thing for men, but it still felt like it was geared towards women. I don't know whether I was prejudging it.
I don't know. You're not totally wrong, but I want to say that. So I only watched season 1 and season 2, which brings me again to maybe a lot of our writing is lacking, because I'm trying to put all these characters together. You have the rich kid, that's all of them are rich, but you have the one who likes older women, the one who throws money at problems, the one whose mom wants him to marry somebody but he's in love with his best friend, then another one whose wife was cheating on him with his brother. I don't At the heart of it, I don't see, there isn't a lot of depth, let me put that, in a way where, usually when you watch a film about friendship, right, you see the dynamics, not just their personal life or more like even how they maneuver friendships, which TMC didn't do, which a lot of our ensemble films about friendship, about groups of men or women don't do. We don't see the intra relationship, it's just their external relationships with other characters. For TMC, I'm really lost, because I don't know. I think at the heart of it is people love the drama, in quotes, the dramatic conflicts that comes up, like the Ayola's character. For his romantic character, if you watch season 1 again, you'll be like, it falls flat, because you don't even know where this character fell in love with that character. But you realize that we're seeing stereotypical characters in romantic novels, the rich guy who would do anything to get money, right? So a couple of 4 scenes and you're like, oh, this is so romantic. Yeah, so it does well in holding down the audience with some form of emotional core when it comes to like romance. But outside of that, I don't know about the characters of the men. I don't know what it's doing. And which brings me to, please, before I bring back the yearning lover archetype, please. And I don't mean the stalker lover, the yearning, the 90s yearning lover. Oh, where is my love? I will off myself and the love. Bring them back.
Okay, all right. That's a good segue into Nollywood Masturbate. Did you unmute your mic? Okay, I think that's a good segue into the general dynamics of the state of male characters in Nollywood. It's something I wanted to discuss in general. I think, oh God, please try not to shoot the messenger, but me on the podcast was talking about sort of male characters in Nollywood. I can't actually remember what his complaint was. I genuinely can't remember. It was probably not. I don't know. Actually, no. So I don't want to go into it, but I do remember his complaint, and I do feel like the male characters that we currently have now, we're not getting too much. It feels like there aren't a lot capturing the male experience of your, I don't say average Nigerian, of just like just a typical Nigerian, really. And I don't know whether that's holistically what's going on in Nollywood, whether we're just not really capturing Nigerian experiences as a whole. But there's something that seems to be lacking, certainly from Afamafuna is the first one that actually tries to do it from the top of my head. I remember in a while. Toby's character from Gangs of Lagos doesn't feel. I don't know what that is. I don't count that as an attempt on anything. Neither do I really count his Brotherhood. I just mean, and I'm not saying that makes them bad, by the way. I just mean just at least somebody who is really struggling to make it or that kind of thing. Where do we think generally male characters are at this point in Nollywood? Do people have thoughts?
I have thoughts, and I realized that listening to people's favorite male characters, even the bad Maleficent ones, right? I realized that a lot of these characters, the strength is in the writing. We have to take it back to the writing. It will always go back to the writing. You're writing complicated characters, right? Above the surface kind of character. And I think what I can't remember, was it when Randa mentioned Ogabolaji's character in Ogabolaji? I maybe not the resolution probably doesn't make sense, but at the character itself, at nearing 40, thinks he can still enter studio to release music. We all know one Edmond Adugo like that, right? Maybe not all, but we know someone who is nearing 40, who is probably looking for a podcast mic right now, right? Or probably entering studio to sing something. And then the person who indulges them, who is the mom, dies, and then they have to grow up by force. So you see the level of writing that goes into that character, and how character development. So you find out at the end of the day that it's a lot of character development issues. I don't like Timini's character in Elevator Baby because I thought the character development was poorly done. There wasn't enough internal conflict for him to realize that he was being shitty. So the switch was so, oh, I delivered baby. Now I'm sorry that I said something unkind to you. Again, it brings us back to writing. And when you look at all these older characters that were saying, oh, we like this character, I realized is in the way that these characters have been written. And Hannah's, no matter what his motivation was, Hannah himself as a person was not a good person. And I'm like, if somebody in 2024 was going to write that character now, which I'll juxtapose with Afamefuna, you're trying to show us that this character is good. This character is so good. There's no character as good as Olabi in Blue, but he did do bad things, right? Because good people too do bad things. They are capable of bad things, and bad people too. Yeah, also have they can also do good things. It's just how you write. So at the end of the day, I'll say that our male characters right now, we're not doing them a favor by we're not writing them well. They are poorly written. They are not relatable. There's really nothing to hold on to. So yeah, it goes back to writing, goes back to acting. Again, charisma, guys. Mention JT Tom West. Like JT Tom West can act the same character everywhere. You're excited. And Sanuku, all he has to do is just with his voice, just speak. Right? People are running to film clubs to rent films to watch this man. The charisma of Ramsey Noah, RMD. We're trying to get lover boys now, at least in the mainstream, not YouTube. If you're looking at mainstream, people will call Timini's name. And for the life of me, I'm like, maybe Emeka Ike level, kind of, because nobody, Emeka Ike sometimes in romance will like, God help me. But at the same time, but you will not put in the same level as RMD. Or even this guy, what's his name? The guy from Mortal Inheritance was also in Letters to a Stranger. So at the heart of it is we are losing recipe, right? Please go. I'm sorry, not everybody should be, if you want to act, I'm sure you can act. But at the same time, can we also look out for people with charisma? I'm not saying Riz, like proper charisma, the voice, the courage, and then just write better characters for men.
You took my I was going to say the writing is kind of the issue. I had hope. I had hope that okay, now they have like more of the cinema training from the West, and like maybe they'll cut the fat out of old Hollywood. And for some old Nollywood, I said old Hollywood. For some reason, I watch really old Nollywood and mainstream. I guess theater. I don't know. Maybe it's because of also the main people who watch theater movies and like have the money to afford streamers. People like us who are like middle class, transatlantic, professional managerial class people. We're those people. I think they there's also some of the same people who are now the new people who are in charge of Nollywood, even Hollywood too. It's the same thing, Nollywood, and they make horrible movies. They just don't know how to write stories anymore, and it's just the insulting. Like, can you believe that Mama Dearest was like was like in the early 2000s, early 90s, like late 90s? Can you believe that? Are they making movies like Mama Dearest? No, no. There's no complex characters who have complicated um motivations, or or your motivations change, or any of those things, and they don't even have that anymore. They don't. Like after Mifuna, we needed a bad guy, a truly, truly bad guy. And in the middle of the something, the guy becomes stupid. Are you going to say money for partying? Makes no sense. You know?
Yeah.
So that's the problem. They need to go back and watch actual old Nollywood movies and appreciate it and maybe take their copy from it. Not remake those movies, because what I also say can mean that they are remaking the movies, and we've already seen what they do to those movies. So just
Right.
learn.
Yeah. So no surprise really. Things have come down to writing. But I'm just wondering. Yeah, I wish we were writing sort of almost bad versions of our own people. But like it seems like we're not doing that. We're writing bad versions of other people's archetypes, and that's the worrying thing.
Yeah. But so I guess what I want to see is just more normal men in Hollywood movies. Like I'm not even looking for an archetype. Let the archetype just be normal. Just a normal person who's a man doing normal things. Unfortunately, we tend to either get uh lover boys, whatever, or we get abusive men. And those two like categories don't seem like they cover the entirety of all the Nigerian men that exist, or even anywhere close. And so if you could write an unhinged lover boy, that would be wonderful. Preferably not me, who is playing a sort of abusive character, but that you can't really say it's abusive, and in the back of your head, something doesn't quite feel, this is not adding up to love. But just someone who's sweet, who's kind, just be normal. Just try a normal person. Just try a normal man. That's it.
It's interesting to hear you talk about lover boy and abusive men not being there. I don't know if I agree with that. I think there's a famous quote that says you either die a lover boy or you live long enough to see yourself become abusive. It's a famous quote from you don't know, you might have Missy is looking at me confused. But it's a famous
Not
quote.
confused. It's just
Wayne, did you Wayne, what did you want to say? You have your hands up.
Yes, I want to see bromances. I want to see actual good bromances. Like, oh God, every film is about like a guy trying to get a girl, or about them doing nonsense, right? And like, can we just imagine if Afamifuna was about Staninze and Alexei Kubo's character, and the complexity that could arise from that. Like, not us just throwing in one girl into there and it's like, oh, he's like and like they, I don't know, fighting or resolving, but like just these two men that really love each other, and one of them hurting another one, and it's like I'm trying to think of even old Nollywood. I can't remember. I don't know how much, but like it's how like we have. I'll give an example of how like Kevin Hart and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. They are like every film, like they're always bringing them. And many times you see like Ryan Reynolds do like a lot of films with other guys and has genuine bromance, and that's just what I want. I want genuine bromance in Nollywood. So yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Genuine romance.
Bromance, or no romance.
Bromance. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so it's interesting. The reason why I asked about the men's club and what it looks like, and I think even if you look at if you take attendance, even if you mark like the genders of NFC today, it's predominantly female, and that's because the audience for Nollywood is predominantly female. And it makes sense to write things geared towards your market. I say this, and yet we'll still have once in a while a film. What's that? Yemi Black film? Modern Woman. With that come up, but maybe I want to give them the excuses. Maybe this is why nobody's thinking about writing normie men or men with just your standard everyday experiences. But I don't know. Oh, maybe
even the characters, they are not even well written and they are not even friends. Is that they just gather around to talk. Oh,
Also, in almost all film markets, Chinese, even Hollywood, all of that, it's predominantly female. And still, maybe Hollywood is slightly changing, but Hollywood has been changing slightly now. It's been over like a decade, over like 2 decades now, where it's predominantly female. And still, that doesn't mean anything. They'll write a man something and like, look here, we live in a man's world. A woman knows how to identify with a man. We know how to identify with men.
Yeah, my statement is just geared towards. I don't know whether if it's an intentional thing from the parts of people to
it is not intentional.
They
just don't have right.
Yeah,
it's not intentional.
You're probably you're probably right. Anyway, but that's just sad. Because at least one could have used that one to hold belly, but okay.
Because they put cool men in it. They put cool men that look cool to men. They put their fantasies on screen, and it. So
the number of abusive men we see in Nollywood feels like it feels like it just feels like a cheap version of women. We see you. We know the hardship.
But they're almost always going to have a counter to that man, right? It's always they'll have the non-abusive guy. It's just this guy in particular. He sucks. It's this guy because again, the number of gold digging women we have in Nollywood, right? And if we're going about writing for men, we go back older to what is still stressing Nigerian people today. The broke guy you rejected is going to blow, and you're going to be the beaten chick girl, and he's going to be doing better than the rich guy you left him for or whatever. They're still writing male fantasy.
And the crazy thing about it is that even though they punish women in movies, they never punish men. Almost never. Like entire and they could be the worst characters that exist on this earth, and they never have to learn a lesson other than like a temporary lesson that just bounces back by the end of the movie because somehow at the end of the movie they've gained all their money back.
I watched a YouTube yesterday like that. It was Ben Tweet. I like it. Ben and what's her name? Chinonso Aribayi. And it was just horrible to her from like the first scene. And I'm like, oh, there better be a reason. There better be a better resolution. I mean, they had good chemistry. Ben Tweet, whatever his name, is really good at this lover boy thing. People of God, to the end of that film, the resolution, sorry, I'm doing all this because I like you, happened in the last second. I say, hey, wait, I had to check the time and check the year because I do not want to believe this is 2024 as I had to check the name of the writer. Somebody wrote this thing in 2024. So as like we mentioned, people are always going to write their fantasy, right? And it's not a problem. You have this thing in your head, write it. But I feel like writers owe it to not even the audience now, to themselves. Like, I get it. You want to write something that is, in your head, is the best thing you've written. But at the same time, you owe yourself, like, basic structure of writing. You have to resolve it. So if your character is an asshole, there has to be motivation for it. There has to be something. And when you're going to resolve this entire thing, you have to resolve it like you went but nothing is happening. And so you say that these characters, these horrible characters that are being written, it borderline deliberate at this point. And as we've all been mentioning, it's just the writing, it's just bad.
All right. No, I hear you, Elizabeth. All right. So just to round up, just general hopes of where, I know, like Otasa said, she just wants to see Nomi Men. Just general hopes of where we're hoping for male characters to the kind of things we're expected to see from future male characters. Is there any particular archetype you would like to see back? Is there just a version, a direction you'd like to see more male characters go through? And I'm just going to go through the list in the other ICs. All right, so I'm going to start with Wayne. Wayne, is there any?
Yeah, I think I said already, I want male friendship, I want armed robbers, real armed robbers. And then I want some version of the ritualist in our generation, right? Like, so I think they're like done with that version of ritualist that's existing. But I find it hard to believe that there are not people that are that desperate for money, right? So I want
Yahoo boys.
Yeah, maybe Yahoo boys, but no deeper level, not this like upcoming Yahoo boys. So yeah, so something like some version of that.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. Like, I need to see, because Nigeria is such a. There are people who are severely desperate and they're doing crazy things. We just need to unearth some of those things and put them in the movies. But maybe Wayne Tierney, psychologist, Amdrobbers, and Bromance. I hear you on the Bromance, but Amdrobbers, you want to see more? Okay, all right. No, thanks. Atas.
Wait, not in real life. I don't want to see more Amdrobbers in real life. Sorry.
Man. So it's normal men still kind of topping the list there. And that doesn't mean they should be perfect. Like I feel with they never do necessarily anything wrong, but just sort of more well-rounded men. And even for villains, I do want to see more villains, but not as caricatures. Is like not in the way they've been portrayed all the time recently. Um, and that's why I liked Uzo's character, but more well-rounded men. Like, I want to see a villain who's out in the street causing bloodshed and then goes home, plays with his children. Like, it's actually a nice, normal person. Just sort of that kind of, I don't know, variation in the storytelling there. Even if it's just telling us stories about Yahoo boys. They're causing havoc on the street, but just also are normal people. Obviously I want to see Queen Remy shirtless more. And then just in general, better relationship building. And this goes again with more normal men. It's just the way in which characters in general start relationships with women in Nollywood. It's either very antagonistic or sometimes just stalkery. Just be normal. I guess that's really the summary of all the things I want to see. Just show a normal person, a normal man toasting a babe. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Atas. Elizabeth.
So I want as much as I want complicated characters back. Really, I just want characters that I want to root for. even when I know that they are going to die at the end, because the wages of sin is death, right? But at the same time, I want to feel sorry for this character, even though I know they're going to die. So I want multi-layered characters back. Somebody gets into the writer's room, do more, write more depth for your characters. That's for men. I want to see more friendship, and it's quite sad. It's not just for the men too, even in the women. For most, apart from, I've not really seen film that has a group of men, group of women be good friends to each other. So please bring real friends back now for the main me. Bring real lovers back. Okay? Bring real lovers back. Like mortal inheritance. You don't, if you will not let me marry her, I will leave your house kind of lovers, right? I'm going to fight for this love. I want them back on my screen. I want real yearners back. Love me or I die. Not stalker. Just let me have my love. If we don't marry, we will kill each other. We will jump from the story building. We will do blood covenants, and stuff will be chasing us in the middle of the night. But bring your real yearners back, guys. Bye.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. More calls for the Lover Boys, and just remember, I wonder. I didn't hear. I think Otas talked about people doing horrible things and coming back to their families, and that just reminded me of Blossom's character from The Trade. Wonder if more calls of characters like that. I certainly enjoyed that character.
Definitely more characters like that. Like, yes, these are evil people, but that's just their job. They come home, they're loving family men, great with their wives. That's kind of what I want, because it gives you more where you're kind of conflicted. Like, okay, well, yeah, sure, he just murdered 3 people, but he also just taught his kids how to ride a bike. So, and his kids are gonna miss him if they die. So, do I really want him dead? Like, make me a little confused, because right now they show me villains, and I'm like, okay, I can't wait till you die. So, thank you.
All right, thanks, Taz. Ayinkan, do you want to tell us what you hope to see more?
Yes. What I hope to see is kind of the same thing of like, I want the stories to be diverse Nigerian experience. Like, I want a story of a family man who is not necessarily trying to survive the economic situation that is a comment on the economic situation. I want this. I could also have a action, whatever. What's the name of Fast and Furious? Yes, type of something. It's okay. I just want it to be. I also want it to be well written. I want people to go do research, and I want the writers to stop trying to look cool. Yeah. And in that way, they can give me, because I'm a person, I will accept whatever you want to give me. It's okay. I just want more stories that reflect real life Nigerian. I want more stories that. Are you okay? I want more stories that reflect real life Nigerian situations, or even possible fake fictional Nigerian situations, but just I want them to be different. I don't want no more gangster in the underbelly. Can you stop that, please? Stop it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ayinka. Nollywood must change. You want to give us what your hopes for male characters going forward is?
Okay. You guys didn't allow me to talk when you guys were talking about archetypes. So one of the things I want Nollywood to do better in archetypes is how the right feminine men or how the right queer men they can do better. Please, enough of that nonsense. So well, I want to see gigolos. I want to see Ross boys. I want to see sugar babies.
I wholly. Looks like we're losing Nollywood must change.
Right. Can you specify? Does it mean in films or like? Because it just sounded very enthusiastic about seeing gigolos.
Sounded like he was reading his to-do list. I have.
You want to see sugar babies or glucose guardians?
Mrs. C, do you have hopes?
Honestly, I just want better writing. I think the men would benefit from better writing, same way I think the women would benefit from better writing. What Nollywood is stressing me out with is shitty writing and terrible characterizations and just not understanding or putting across character motivations. And if they were to do that for the men, I would have a better experience watching men in Nollywood.
Okay. Not even.
Elon hates you, is what happened.
Yeah. I want to see multi-layered characters. I want to see characters in men's perspectives, not really when you just bring women and to model, but I want to see men that go through life, comedy in comedy series. Not the comedies we do, not those kind of ghetto comedy we do. Like so comedy that makes sense. Everyday men, everyday guys. I want to see stories about them. Yeah.
Papa Jasco. That's who you want to see.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've lost our Sophias and just those guys as well. And I mean our Sophias are supposed to like an Ibu who was always flat out. Ibu was always on as like always like he was always playing the buffoon, which is fun. But I think Instagram comedians can play the buffoon whether you like them or not. But like the Sophia character that. He was a regular person going through life, but he was doing things. He was having funny things happen to him and reacting in funny ways. And I miss that. So I guess in general, I'm with everyone. Everyone's basically saying more or less the same thing, just like better writing. I think just characters that make interesting choices. When I think about Mafe's character, and like that character goes through a lot. The way he reacts is what makes me really empathize with that character. He's going through things, and the steps he can take, but he decides to like carry on his shoulders. It's just even in minute. We don't have to go that far, to be honest. Just give me characters making interesting choices, having more than one dimension, like from the trade. I will take that over, and clear motivations and all of that. But yeah, I'm with everybody. I agree with basically what everybody said, and I hope we get there. But signs are not looking good, guys. Signs are not looking good. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us this week to discuss male characters in Nollywood. With Nollywood Film Club, we do this every Sunday, and we'll see you next Sunday, 6 p.m. What? Take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. If you enjoyed listening and would like to join live, just follow us on Twitter at IrokoCritic and join us every Sunday, 6 p.m. West African time on our spaces.